Hi there, and welcome to CBD and Essential Oil Talk Radio with Mark and Nikki. If you're looking for real information about how CBD and essential oils can have a positive impact on your life, you're in the right place. Coming up on the show today, Nikki's going to give us a canine calming cookie recipe. Yep. Say that 3 times fast. Yes. We're going to share some insight we learned over the past few days during the CBD and Essential Oil Rally here in San Antonio with Sherry Ross. She only has about 44 years of experience with essential oils. Her backstory was awesome. So we'll recap a little bit on that. The long-awaited USDA rules on hemp production has arrived. We're going to take a look at what's important for us in the consumer and distributor side. There's some important implications going on there. So for those of you who are curious, we are diffusing a blend called Christmas Spirit here in the studio, which has orange, cinnamon, and black spruce essential oils. So, you know, something I learned, black spruce actually has it's the highest frequency. It's even higher than rose. It has a higher frequency than rose essential oils, which I thought was kind of cool.
Well, unless you got your lines crossed.
I might have. All right, so if I did, you'll tell me.
I sure will.
A quick note for folks out there who are interested in learning about CBD or essential oils. We now have an easy way for you to get basic information that you can trust right here from Nikki and myself. If you want to learn about CBD, simply text CBD to 210-910-4174. If you want to learn about essential oils, just some basic information, text the word oils to 210-910-4174, and you'll get the information sent right to your phone. It's an awesome way to learn.
Yeah,
so what's going on, Nikki?
Well, a lot's going on. It was a fabulous weekend. What did you think?
I loved it.
I loved it.
Absolutely loved it.
Busy, fast and furious.
Yeah.
And I loved every part of it.
That's a really good way to say it, fast and furious.
It was, yeah. So before the CBD and essential oil rally that we were part of, I loved being part of that, by the way.
Oh, yeah.
There was a luncheon prior to that, right? Which is usually my favorite part because you get lots of testimonies. You get to hear people's stories. You get to hear how other people are working their business, how specific oils are working in their lives for them. And, I heard some powerful stories this weekend. And most of them, again, specific to that person and their need. Our bodies act different to oils. So I may respond to lemon oil completely different than you respond to lemon oil or any other woman. You're not a woman, but
you are unique. We'll say
there
that.
You go. So this one story really stood out for me. It was this woman stood up and she started talking about her hunting dog. Okay.
Okay.
If anybody knows what a hunting dog does, they sit, they wait at your feet. They wait for you to shoot something, and they look to see if something has fallen, and then they take off.
Okay.
She said her hunting dog, every time a shot was fired, he would bury his nose. He's scared to death.
Wasn't interested? Oh, he's scared.
He was like, and she's like, no, you're a hunting dog. You're going to be a hunting dog. I'm going to teach you. So they tried everything that they could think of. A special blend, TOA. That
I've heard of it.
For dogs. It's in the pet line, right? Young Living has a pet line. How amazing is that? Our pets have their own oils.
Yeah,
must be nice.
That's cute.
Just like our kids, which they're kind of the same around my house. Pets and kids. Anyway, except Michaela really doesn't like dog food that much.
No? She stopped eating it again? Again?
But, whatever. Anyway, she tried the peace and calming, the stress away. Everything you think of, everything that you've been told, right? But animals are just like humans in the way our bodies work, okay? Not all animals.
Right.
I don't want to be an elephant. I do not want to be pregnant for, 3 years.
Is that how long they're pregnant?
I don't know. I know it's a long time.
I don't even know, right?
So here's what happened. She said, I just tried something really simple. Just something that worked for me. I tried it on the dog. Do you know what it was?
What?
Lavender.
Oh, okay.
1 drop of lavender. She put it right the back of its neck, and then 1 on each ear. Not in the ear, but on the ear.
Right.
Rubbed it in. And then took him hunting.
And?
The gunshot went off, and he just sat there, and then she's like, go get it, boy. And he took off.
All right, cool.
Then it happened and happened again. So that was, I just thought that was amazing because it is hunting season right now. So just putting those 2 and 2 together that, you know what, well, this is supposed to work for my dog, but we don't know if it's going to work for the dog. They're actually telling us, hey, this isn't working. And then it told her, hey, this was working. So recipes, I love to cook. I love to be in the kitchen. That's why.
Is this on the dog thing? Because I want to make a comment on the dog thing.
Yeah.
Because it is. Oh, yeah, it is. Okay, go ahead. Sorry.
Well, no, make your comment. Now
okay. So, yeah, there was, the lady was talking about, fear. This is in another, event that was going on. This lady was talking about how animals will react differently to different things, right? Some oils will work on it, some won't. Like Valor's a really good one for, dogs and animals during like thunderstorms, stuff like, but not always. Sometimes, they said that there's another one called Trauma Life, I think that,
it's a TOA.
but that's, well, there's TOA,
Okay, gotcha.
but then there's Trauma Life. But anyway, just people using different blends. They just find the one that works with that particular animal, where that animal's at that particular point. And this comes up a lot during discussions with folks. They're like, well, okay, well, what oil are you using for this or for that? And we're like, well, for me, this is working, but this is where my body chemistry, it's kind of at a different place than everybody, right? So you just try different things. And one of the things I like about Young Living Starter Kit is that it comes with 12 different oils, which folks may look at that and go, that's a lot to learn. Well, you don't have to learn it all, right? I mean, you just diffuse the one you like smelling and just try some other ones that are good for different things. But you get to explore this new thing called essential oils and figure out what can I use, what works for me, and so forth. So anyway.
I love it. I love exploring.
Yep, me too.
All these oils. I have oils I've never even opened on my shelf. Just
really?
Because I haven't got there yet.
Give me an example of one.
Cistus? How do you say it?
Cistus.
Like yesterday?
Yeah. Was that the first time you opened it?
I opened it right there while I was there.
It smells just like Emu Power, doesn't it?
Yeah.
It does. I had no idea.
A little bit of lemon, maybe. I don't know. It wasn't I don't know, but it had some pretty powerful things that it did.
We'll talk about Cistus here in a little bit too.
Do you have the notes on that? Because
yep,
I don't.
I do.
Okay, that's wonderful. Okay. So since we're talking about dogs, I thought I'd share my favorite dog treat recipe, and I call it the Canine Calming Cookie. So you're going to take half a cup of organic peanut butter, a cup of flour. Now I've actually used the icorn flour.
Okay, cool.
And it totally worked. So 3 packets of non-flavored instant oatmeal.
Okay.
A cup of water and half a cup of honey. It's not half a cup of honey.
Local honey?
2 tablespoons of honey. That's what it is. And then
that's a little less than
right.
half
It's a little, whatever.
It's close.
Right. I'll put it on our blog, so don't worry about it. You guys have to take notes. But I put in 6 drops of lavender, but I also use 1/3 a cup of dry lavender bits or buds. You know what those are?
No.
I purchase them quite frequently. It just makes like the bath salts look pretty. The little purple stems almost, but they're the buds. They're dried buds.
Okay, gotcha.
I purchase those. So I put that in there too. Remember, you want to use the oils that are internal use.
Okay, vitality stuff. Yeah.
Vitality stuff. Yep. So you're going to put all the ingredients in the bowl, cover it with plastic for a little bit, let it sit in the fridge for about an hour. And you make it into little bitty balls, about, size of a golf ball or smaller than a golf ball. That's one big cookie.
Depends on the size of the dog.
Right. And you bake it in the oven for 12 minutes at 350. And
have you ever eaten one of these? Did you try one?
I did.
Okay, awesome.
I totally did.
How'd it taste? Was it sweet enough or no?
It wasn't sweet enough, no.
Okay.
No.
That's what I was
thinking.
thinking.
That's where the half cup honey comes from. I dip them in powdered sugar. No, I do not.
Oh, yeah, that sounds good.
I would never do that.
Really?
All right, anyway, so now here's what I've done. Thunderstorm-wise, or we're getting ready to go to the vet, not just this recipe. I add 1 drop of lavender to the actual cookie. I just drop it right in the whole drop, and I give it to the dog.
Okay.
And they eat it right up.
Really?
Yes. And it totally works, I'm telling you. And it feels good. And to be able to give your dog a treat, we made it. I spent some time with the kids. Let's make this for the dog. That's fun. I like doing that. So that's actually going to be part of our gift giving this season for all my animal friends. Sorry, my friends with animals, whatever. We're going to give them dog treats.
Cool.
I like that.
Yeah, I like that too.
I like giving.
So I was kind of snickering a little bit over here while you were talking, because whenever you say, well, I would never do something like that. It's like, I'm always a little suspect. I'm like, what? Wait a second.
I would never do something like that again.
Again. See, there's usually an extra little piece to it. So that's why usually when you say something quick like that, I like, wait, where's the rest of it going to come out? So that's awesome. Thanks for sharing that. So folks, if you want to get that recipe, then you just visit eotalkradio.com, look for the blog tab, or just go straight to eotalkradio.com/blog. And you can get it there. Nikki's really good about posting that stuff up there. All right, so let's talk a little bit about our sponsor for this show. It's the San Antonio Empowerment Council. They have an event coming up on January 18th. It's going to be their next. It's only like 2 months in between the rallies, but a huge CBD and essential oil rally going on in the Bernie, San Antonio area. It's going to be at the Bevy Hotel up in Bernie. But, of course, that's close enough for our San Antonio folks to get there. And then, of course, people up I-10 or whatever, if they want to come down and go to that. Even Austin. People from Austin, Houston, are traveling up there as well. So come on out for that huge CBD and essential oil rally going on. The keynote speaker is going to be Marcella Von Harding, who's a young living Royal Crown Diamond. She's going to be sharing some amazing insight and personal stories with her use of essential oils. Super excited. When you get a chance to be around somebody who's been using oils for that long, and they know not only that, but so one of the things I love about Young Living is the fact that they have their own farms. They have them all over the world, right? Whether it's a partner farm or the actual company owns the farm, but you can go out and you can work on these farms. Obviously there's some rules on that part of it, but most of them are available for visiting the corporate farms that you can go out to. But being able to work that process really endears you to what is going on, what it takes to make the oil. And one of the things that Sherry touched on was the seed to seal, their words. It's 3 words, but when you know what's behind that, when it comes to like soil preparation, seed selection, we're using, Young Living is using a lot of their own, I'm not sure if it's 100% or not, but they're using their own seeds for the next generation. So it's like they know exactly where all of that stuff's coming from, and they know the quality of it. That's just a little bit of insight behind the word seed and seed to seal, but there's so much more that you can learn. When you get around to get a chance to be around these folks and hear that personal stories about the behind the scenes stuff, it's awesome. I mean, I love that kind of material. I spend hours and hours and hours listening to that. I never got a chance to hang around Gary Young and ask him questions before he passed away. I would have loved that opportunity. Can you imagine having him on the show and talking a little bit?
Mark, when I hear people's story about Gary Young, I'm sad. I'm like, I didn't get that opportunity.
Yeah.
It really touches my soul. I'm like, I wish I would have known that guy. But I feel the stories that people say, I can totally just picture him, and I see his smile, and I'm like, man, he would have loved me.
Yeah, probably would have. He's very authentic, in what he did.
That's the word I was looking for.
He very walked the walk.
I would have loved him.
Yeah.
So.
But he's a hard worker, I mean, that kind of work ethic is awesome. But anyway, so if you guys get a chance, if you're going to be anywhere in the area on January 18th, you need to go to that event. You don't want to miss these opportunities. We're also going to have a business lunch with Marcella Von Harding. It's a great opportunity if you're interested in that area of growing. Should I do something in the essential oil business? Or maybe you tried it, you want to try it again, or you just want to look at it. That's a good luncheon to go to and just learn from the very, very best, the very top of the company. And she still to this day, just like Sherry Ross, is working that business every single day. She's sharing with people. I remember one of the things that stood out with Sherry Ross was somebody asked her, well, how are you getting new people? How are you, sharing? And she's like, and I'm paraphrasing, and forgive me for butchering it, but it's like, I don't know how to not share. It's like it just comes from her inner being because she walks it. She walks the talk, as she says. And so, when somebody asks about something, she's like, oh, well, she has it with her because she's actually taking the supplement, the essential oil infused supplement, or she's using the oils, and she shares freely with folks. Well, that's how you do the business. It's just this organic. You're not recruiting, you're sharing what you're doing, and it impacts people's lives. So it's a cool thing. So January 18th, 2020, you guys can visit saecevents.com for all of the details. So let's go a little over the rally that we did. What did you learn? What really stood out for you at the rally this past couple of days?
Well, so I had a personal connection to the rally.
Yeah, okay. Do tell.
Well, I was on stage, right?
Yeah,
you seeing the rally.
You did a really good job. So we had just so you guys know, we had a little bit of an audio problem, which was my fault. Ultimately, it was my fault. I'm still learning a little bit in the audio tech world, but we were supposed to be playing this video, and the audio wasn't working. So Nikki actually talked to everybody through it, and they were laughing. I mean, it was funny. And people were asking me, can you fix the audio? And I'm just doing this right here. I was like, I can't help you. I'm sorry. It's beyond my means. But pay attention to what Nikki's saying because she's walking you through the whole thing. It was a lot of fun. So great job.
Well, thank you.
Yeah.
So I struggle with that sometimes. Like, oh, man, am I going to be able to do this up on stage? Am I going to get nervous? What if I get stage fright? So the oils always come into play.
Oh, yes.
So this is the first rally where I've kind of doubled up on my CBD before stage, and wow, that was a huge difference for me.
Well, you seem very, very comfortable.
I wasn't sitting down shaking, and I wasn't like, oh, Okay, how many more minutes till this is over? Okay, I have to be back on stage in 3 minutes. I didn't have that.
You were
this
just
time.
comfortable.
I was just comfortable. I was comfortable in my position there. So that's my personal connection. That my CBD really helped me.
You don't strike me as, I mean, we work together a lot, and I just don't, you just hide it really, really well, I guess. Or maybe I'm not paying attention because you know I'm good at not paying attention.
Are you even listening right now?
I'm sorry, who are you? But yeah, I don't really pick up on that at all. And the way you're at ease on the stage, the audience is able to enjoy it. Because you know how people, if they're nervous or whatever up on stage, it just throws the audience off.
Right.
But you had them, you know, figuratively speaking, eating out of your hand. I mean, it was a really great experience. So great job.
I love the whole Blue Santa thing, you know.
Oh, yes.
We support our community.
We do.
As being, you know, what we do. But the San Antonio Empowerment Council, that's not only our sponsor, but they support the community.
And they couldn't fit any more. Wasn't your boxes? I saw the bags. It was like bags and bags.
7 of the largest trash bags you can imagine, those big black heavy duty ones.
Yeah.
I have 7 of those full of toys.
So you take all these new toys, you put them in trash bags?
I put them in trash bags, and then I mean, Michaela's gonna have a wonderful Christmas. I'm kidding.
Wow, that is wicked.
Look what Mommy bought you. Oh, I got 7 of those. So, and you know what I loved about it? It wasn't Dollar Tree toys. It wasn't Walmart special. Sorry, I'm gonna cry. Huh. It was really good toys.
Yeah.
So I love that. The giving in the community.
It's very strong. Very strong.
Yep.
All the prizes and stuff that were given away too, they're all donated by folks.
Yes.
The Young Living community is really a special community.
And you know, we had corporate there, and people, when I say corporate, people from Utah that work at the Young Living facilities.
Right.
And they're like, man, you guys brought it, and all these giveaways. Oh my goodness, that's thousands of dollars. I'm like, yeah, we are here. We bring it for them, and we want our people that are, you know, we want them to have an experience, not just like, oh, it was a rally, we talked about oils, blah blah blah. No, they're like, oh my gosh. So yeah, it's just I love the rallies. But again, when I went in this time, it was a little different because of my first time going solo on stage, and I was nervous, but I wasn't.
Oh yeah, you brought it big time. See, just a quick shout out. Heather Grill did a fantastic job. You know, she worked well with her team that she assembled.
Raquel Skates, and then Rose. I don't know Rose's last name, but they did a great job with assembling the photo booth and running the prizes and the games and the themes. I mean, they nailed it. They did so good. So thanks, ladies. And
registration went smooth as always. So Laura Weaver's up there with her team, just making sure everything went. I mean, she knows what she's doing. She's got a lot of experience there. And then, of course, Laura, she got the 5x5 award for Reach. What'd you think of that?
It was wonderful.
Wasn't that cool? That was, and we got that on video too.
So appreciative. She appreciated it so much. She kind of just hung her head down and cried, like, I can't believe this is happening. And then she said, I can't believe y'all hid this from me.
And then, so Young Living, so Haley Zitting brought one of those advent calendars, right? And so that was a gift for Laura, making that 5x5 award. And she just, Laura, that really brought her to tears even more when she got that, when she saw, I think it took her a minute.
Jealous. I'm not going to lie.
But it took her a minute to figure out what it was. I don't think she knew right away what it was. And then she realized that it was the advent calendar. And then she just really got emotional at that point. So, and to get all of that from, I mean, to have Sherry Ross, she just adores Sherry Ross, give her that award. So that was a very, very special thing. So there was a really kind of a good mix of, you come in, you learn a lot because there's a ton of information. You get to experience a little bit of some charity stuff going on, so you know that, you know, things are working within your local community. Then you have some recognition stuff going on, and just lots of food and drink and products. I mean, how much? Thousands of dollars worth of products given away. If you're in the San Antonio area, anywhere close to one of these rallies that the Empowerment Council puts on, you have to go just for that. You got a really good chance of winning something while you're there, because we give away a ton of stuff. So lots of cool stuff. So what did you learn as far as any tips or anything like that? I've got a couple written down here that I can go into if you.
Why don't you give yours and then I'll think about it.
Okay, cool. Yeah, because there was so much.
There's so much.
So one of the things I picked up on is so when you're talking about applying essential oils, there's places that you apply them maybe for specific things, right? So I can't touch on all of the different places, right? I mean, you just have to do your research. But this is what stood out to me that I hadn't really thought of. So one thing, Sherry Ross, when she talks about putting oils underneath your nose, on your upper lip, right? Just kind of up here so that you're getting that fragrance. And then over the throat, right? Mm-hmm. And then on the back of the neck. So those are 3 really good places to kind of, you're starting with essential oils. Maybe you're trying to open things up. You're trying to just, orient yourself, get your day going. Those are really good places. Now, there's other reasons why I can't really go into all of that, but there's other reasons why you may want to apply oils to those particular places. But just so you know, those are 3 really good places to put essential oil. So that's the back of your neck, the upper lip, underneath your nose, and over the throat. Just kind of open things up for you. So that's my 3 great places. Are you still thinking of stuff? I know I kind of dropped this on you at the last minute, but
no. Something she also mentioned was Ningxia Red, right?
Oh, no, you're going to give mine away. I have this written down.
Is that what it is? So maybe you should have asked me.
No, go ahead.
Ningxia Red. She says that she dilutes hers with water.
Okay, yeah.
She adds hers with water. And I've always done that because when I first started, I was like, this is so powerful to me. Yeah. It's a powerful antioxidant. I call it my energy booster, energy boosting drink. Yep. It was so powerful. When I first started Ningxia Red, I'm just going to say it. I got some little blisters in my mouth, and I wasn't sure what that was about. And it's so powerful with the oils. But she said she had mentioned something called nightshade. I wasn't 100% sure what that was, and she explained it to me. She goes, you just got to dilute it. And so I did dilute it, and I've never had a problem since.
Oh, nice. So perfect.
So that was nice for someone of that caliber to reiterate
that experience,
what you're doing is you're doing it right. I love that.
Yeah, you've had a couple of those moments during our.
So I guess I know what I'm doing. It feels good.
So let me build on that. So there's 3. Now, see if you remember this. So there's 3 really good times of the day to drink that. Now, if you're trying to address a particular issue, which I can't go into, but this would be timeliness of it. But so you're drinking 2 ounces, right? That's the normal drink for folks. It's plenty. Because of, she talked about how much was in it, like the equivalent of an ounce of Ningxia Red is like, it was just a lot of stuff. Anyway, I'm not going to go into it. But anyway, so 3 great times of the day to drink Ningxia Red, especially if you're struggling with something in particular, right? Okay. 8 a.m., 10 a.m., and 2 p.m. I actually wrote that down in my notebook when she said it, because I hadn't heard that before. It's like, okay, well, because, our bodies are tuned to time to some degree, right? It just works better. I guess. So if you're looking for a regimen, and you're struggling, 8 a.m., 10 a.m., and 2 p.m. So go with that.
That sounds awesome.
See if it works for you. So she talked about a little bit of math. How many thousand? I'll just ask you the question. See if you remember. I put you on the spot. How many 1,000 pounds of Melissa plant material does it take to make 15 ounces of oil? Do you remember that?
3,000.
6,000. And wasn't it
it down.
Wasn't it the same for rose? It was
3,000 for rose. That's what it is.
Pounds, right?
3,000 pounds of rose to make 12 ounces. Yeah, 12 ounces.
Somewhere near you.
And then there was one at 6,015. Did you say 15?
Yeah.
Yep, that's what it was.
6,000.
You're correct. You're right.
I'm glad you validated that. Yeah, 6,000 pounds of Melissa plant material to make 50. So it's really stingy with its oil.
Yep.
So do you remember what she was saying about clary sage too, and how when you cut the plant material, it needs to lay next to the plant or something like that? Do you remember what that was about?
She was putting on a concrete block.
No, that was I think the Melissa material where they move it. It has to sit out in the sun for a while.
Yes.
And you have to turn it and all of that, right? Because it has to do with the bricks. The bricks? Is it the bricks? It's funny. I didn't prepare for this part. I'm sorry, but
yeah, apparently I didn't either.
But do you remember the part about the clary sage?
No, I do not.
Okay, all right. Well, we can talk about that.
I actually had left the room. I went and got a free cookie.
Oh yeah,
you
did.
We're gonna keep it honest, guys. That's what I did.
Did you just get one?
I only got one.
So I went up to the lady and I said, I'll just tell you the story because it's funny. Yeah, well, I didn't know they were free, but I'm like, do you have any baked goods? And she's like, well, we have some cookies here. And I said, well, how much are they? And she says, well, how many do you want? And I'm like, well, it depends on how much they are.
They're $12 a pop. I just want the one.
Right. How about a half a cookie, right? She's like, oh, they're free. I said, well, I'll take 4. I'll take
4 dozen.
2 for me, 2 for my wife, and then I just gave cheddar for 1. Yeah, I'm like that.
I was sitting right there. I didn't think about me.
That's
Thanks,
too
Mark.
funny. All right. So, and then the last thing that I have here, actually I have 2 more points. So the top of her list to see combined with CBD. So this is always like, because, Young Living combines essential oils with CBD. It's like, what would be your top See,
my top would be Copaiba.
Copaiba, yeah.
That's what I think of right away. And I actually did that this morning.
Oh, did you really?
We're going to tell that on another story, I think.
Right. Copaiba Vitality or whatever.
Vitality.
Oh, yeah, that's right. We got to be careful with the whole CBD and stuff, how you take it. We can't talk about how you take it.
Right.
At least not yet until the FDA finalizes their rules or whatever. So, but as far as Sherry goes, Sherry Ross, her top of her list was sacred frankincense,
Yes,
which I thought was cool.
I did too.
Do you remember what number 2 was?
Copaiba?
Nope.
Yes, it was.
Sandalwood.
You're incorrect.
Oh, I got second sandalwood. That's what my note said. We're going to have a little dispute here.
You were eating cookies.
I was eating a lot of cookies.
Sandalwood.
All right, so and then another tidbit I picked up on is cistus. The cistus plant does not burn in a fire.
That's right.
So do you know in the Exodus, so you have Moses, he's going around or whatever, and then one of his animals gets free, and he's looking for it. I don't know if it's a sheep or a goat or whatever, but anyway, he's looking for it, and he finds this bush that's burning.
The burning bush.
Where there's a fire going on, but the bush is not being consumed by the fire. So just for those of you who are out there, maybe fans of the Bible, read that story, my question to you is it possible that was cistus? I mean, does it have to be this miraculous thing with the plant? I mean, obviously the flame burning was something unusual, right? But maybe it was cistus. I mean, that makes sense. And cistus is an amazing plant when it comes to health and wellness.
Yes. So when Sherry told the story, and she said that, I leaned over to Heather, and I said, well, I guess that wasn't the one in the Bible. And she's like, or was it?
Or was it?
And I said, oh, maybe. So I'm glad that you asked that question because it was on my mind as well.
Yeah. So, I mean, just something to think
burning,
about.
But it wasn't.
Huh.
Like sometimes I'm burning, but I'm not really burning.
Yeah. That's a whole
There's an oil for that.
All right, let me do a quick commercial break before we head out to our next subject here. Quick note for folks who are out there interested in learning about CBD or essential oils. We now have an easy way for you to get basic information that you can trust. If you want to learn about CBD, simply text the word CBD to 210-910-4174. And if you want to learn about essential oils, text the word oils to 210-910-4174, and we'll get the information sent right to your phone. That comes from Nikki and myself. Got that all prepped up for you. All right, so we know the whole CBD world, right, is in transition. It's the FDA, the FTC, the USDA, all of them, they're all trying to figure out the rules for the CBD. So the long-awaited USDA rules on hemp production has arrived. Part of it focuses on the resin extraction, which is used in things like oils, lotions, and other topical products. So this is very applicable to what's going on in the CBD world, okay? So the USDA has now published what they call an interim final rule that establishes a real policy on U.S. hemp production. The program requires all hemp growers to be licensed and includes testing protocols to ensure hemp grown under the program is hemp and not marijuana, right? It needs to fall within the rules. So the interim rule was effective actually October 31st, so very, very recent. And it will, what they call sunset after 2 years, okay, which gives them plenty of time to make it through a full crop cycle and deliver a final rule, make tweaks to the system over the next couple of years. USDA plans to use the 2020 growing season to test drive the new interim rule to guide any adjustments and produce a final rule. Hemp-derived CBD products are driving a significant portion of the hemp industry, so it tops the priority list in how these new rules will play out. Money talks. There's a lot of money in this right now. Yeah. So the new USDA rules do indicate some of the products allowed to contain CBD in advance of the FDA's own rules, which is kind of nice. We're getting a little bit of insight here. So when hemp farmers file the required acreage reports, so it's like, hey, this is what we're growing, right? We want to get a license for it. They need to state the use of the hemp in that acreage. What's it going to be? And so they have 4 options. So fiber, grain, seed, and what they call processing, right? So the option number 4, processing, means that hemp is grown for extraction of plant resin used in oils, lotions, cleansers, bath, and other pharmaceutical or topical products. So another significant step toward an all-out CBD product explosion, I would imagine, to hear from the FDA very, very soon. So this is a good positive step. It really kind of green lights, hey, there's going to be a lot of growth in this topical application market anyway. And then we'll see, of course, when it comes to the internal use.
Okay. What about the other categories? Did you go into detail, like what grain is?
No, I didn't, because I wanted to focus.
When I think of grain, I think of eating, like something you would eat, like.
Maybe so. I mean, the hemp fiber is used in a lot of different things, right? And then, of course, seed would be obviously for, maybe for oil, right? Because you make oil from the seed, hemp seed oil, but then also maybe planting more of it. So I didn't dig too deep into all of that just for time reasons. But, yeah, processing is really the one that applies to folks that, primarily are watching our show. They're figuring out what's,
right.
Creams and lotions.
We talk about labeling,
Yep.
but if it's a grain and you can put a grain in a chocolate bar, then it would be okay, correct?
Well, now you're talking about food now. So when you ingest it, it's a food item. So that's going to be
isn't
FDA.
A grain of food? I'm just saying. That's where I was going with it.
Yeah, I don't know. Yeah,
We'll
see.
We shall see.
Yeah, we shall see.
That's awesome. I love how you research that and bring it to us. Thank you.
Yeah. And, it's important because, folks, really, there's so much flux going on, right? There's so much growth going on that people don't understand. What are the rules? What's going on?
And we have to be in the know.
Yeah, so I had to talk.
Just take someone's word for it.
Yeah, absolutely. And when I talk about this before, when it comes to company integrity and what they're doing, if they're pushing the envelope and they're exceeding what the FDA rules or the USDA rules or FTC rules when it comes to labeling, all of that, if they exceed what that is, then there's a problem. We heard earlier this weekend how the IRS and the FDA are a couple of those organizations that you can't have any locked. They can get anywhere into your company.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
no locked doors or locked cabinets.
They don't even have to call, make an appointment. They just show up and go through your stuff. Well, Young Living does things by the book. They're very, very careful with it. They've got basically an A rating, A+ rating
right.
with the FDA as far as being a company that adheres to the rules. Company integrity is important because if they're going to break the rules there, where else are they going to cut corners? So it's one of the things that I love about using the products that we use with Young Living. So. All right, as we wrap up the show, a quick reminder to check out our latest podcast on all the usual podcast platforms. And if you're following us on Facebook, which hopefully you are, and YouTube, where we post videos of our shows, every week we got a couple of videos coming out. You guys can catch them there and just have a little fun with that. So there are links to everything you need to know in the details below. And that's it. We're going to wrap up the show for this week. You guys have a great one, and we'll see you on the next one.
All right. Bye, guys. See you next time.